Yo, what is going on YouTube? I am Germ here. I'm sure as most of you know, day one of the Worlds group stage, some of the most hyped League of Legends of the entire year. The group stage of Worlds where every region, every team, so many different fan bases still have a chance. There's so many close, exciting games, upsets, all that stuff. It's just a very, very hyped time to be a League of Legends fan. That kicked off today. One of the bigger matches, especially for Western fans, was TSM versus Fnatic. As you can see here, I have my TSM merch on. I was up early. I was awake. I was ready to go. I was hyped up. But unfortunately, the game did not go the way of NA. The game did not go the way of TSM fans. Fnatic was able to handle them pretty easily, honestly. TSM did fight back a little bit, but they were never really at risk of losing the game. Fnatic was. So that capped off an 0-2 day for North America, where they had 2 losses, where in neither game the teams looked very good. So in this video today, I wanted to break down the draft from this game, where I think TSM had a lot more mistakes than they actually did in-game. I did not like their draft very much. I didn't love Fnatic's draft either, but I thought it was way better than TSM. And I thought it really put them off on the right foot to win this game. But yeah, so I want to break that down. That's what we're going to do today. Before we get into this one, I should mention real quick, if you're not already subscribed, definitely click that subscribe button really quick. It helps you guys stay up to date on all of my content. It's quick, it's easy, it's free, and it helps me out a ton as well, so it really is a great deal for both of us. With that being said, here we go, getting right into this. So I want to start out by talking about the bans, which I actually think are pretty interesting in this game as well. Again, I think the draft is obviously one of the biggest points in competitive League of Legends, but I thought it was a really, really big point in this game as well. You can see here we start off with the first 2 bans, TSM on the blue side, Fnatic on the red side. Starting off with the Thresh ban. Thresh, one of Hylissang's best champions. Most teams in the LEC did ban Thresh against Hylissang. He was very good on it. It's one of his best champions again. Fine with that ban. Fnatic comes back with a Twisted Fate ban. Very, very good for Bjergsen. Also, if your plan is to fight a ton early, kind of try and run over the game, Twisted Fate's a good champion to get out of there. Obviously, it's global presence. TSM's been very, very good snowballing, specifically the top side of the map with Twisted Fate. I think that is a fine pick. They have Bwipo, an aggressive top laner, who's not going to be wanting to get camped by a Twisted Fate. I think this ban is a little bit questionable by TSM, banning Shen. They do have the first pick on the blue side, which I think Shen is first pickable. It's a really, really good champion for Broken Blade. It's a good champion for their playstyle of kind of skirmishing heavy, trying to fight a lot early game. Obviously, it does fit Fnatic really, really well, too. And if you are trying to play carries in the top lane, you don't really want a Shen. It can be kind of annoying. But I think Shen actually would have been a fine first pick here for TSM. Obviously, they have other options. They wanted to get the Shen out of there. Fnatic doesn't play Shen a ton. Bwipo isn't really known for Shen or anything. But that ban's okay. I guess in retrospect, it's something I would consider doing different maybe for picking the Shen. But you can't hate that ban because Shen is really, really strong right now in this meta. Next up, we have the second red side ban from Fnatic, which... there it is. It's Caitlyn. Again, I don't really love the Caitlyn ban. I think Doublelift has looked not very good on Caitlyn. His stats aren't very good. His win rate's not very good. He kind of got exposed, honestly, against FBI in that GGS series. Kind of interesting ban. But again, Caitlyn's very good right now. It's okay. And then banning GP against Bwipo, that's pretty normal as well. Bwipo is very, very good on Gangplank. You can play weak side, kind of hard to punish, affects the map well. And then also Renekton, the final ban for Fnatic. I think that is a very, very good ban. I think Broken Blade is a very, very good Renekton. It's blind pickable. It's first pickable. He is pretty disgusting on the champion. Honestly, it's a huge carry. He can shut down a lot of stuff in the top lane. Good at diving, everything. He can really run over the game early and absolutely carry. And Broken Blade has been very, very good on Renekton. So I don't mind that ban from Fnatic. If I look at this, I don't love the Shen ban and I don't love the Caitlyn ban. But altogether, I don't think the bans are too terrible. First, we get into the very first pick of the blue side draft for TSM. This is a pick I have a huge, huge, huge problem with. You are going to see they go with the... wait for it. TSM first picks. The timer's running out. They're not picking. TSM first picks Nidalee on the blue side. And I think this is a pick I have a huge problem with. So you're playing against Fnatic, who, first of all, Selfmade has not played Nidalee in Summer Split. He has not played Nidalee in Spring Split. He has not played Nidalee since 2018 in competitive. That does not mean that Selfmade is not capable of playing Nidalee. I'm sure he's a very good Nidalee. I'm sure it's a champion that they would even consider picking, especially with Nidalee being so good in the meta right now. But I don't think in this series is a highly contested pick. TSM has left open probably Selfmade's best jungler right now, Evelynn, who he has amazing stats on. He has 100% win rate in the Summer Split and playoffs combined. And a champion that's very, very strong in the meta right now, and a champion that he's been spamming in solo queue. Maybe TSM left it open on purpose, thinking they had an answer for it, whatever. But if you were fine with Selfmade taking the Evelynn, why are you first picking jungle? Because then by first picking jungle, what TSM essentially did here was they gave Fnatic 3 power picks, because now Fnatic is going to take Evelynn this 3rd pick in the red side draft. Everybody knows that. TSM isn't going to have a chance to ban again. They're going to have a chance to pick away Evelynn. Fnatic's getting Evelynn. So Fnatic is not going to pick Evelynn in one of these 2 picks. So they're going to get 2 power picks. And then TSM's going to take 2 champions that are not Evelynn, not a jungler, whatever. And then Fnatic is also going to get their 3rd power pick here by not selecting a jungler, by not making, by selecting a jungler, not Evelynn, making Fnatic not have to first pick that Evelynn in one of their first 2 rounds. They essentially gave Fnatic 3 straight power picks on red side. This was a huge mistake and something that ended up costing TSM a ton. Not only did they give Selfmade his best champion, but they gave Fnatic 2 other champions of their choice too, essentially giving them a 3-to-1 pick at the beginning of the draft just to get Spica Nidalee, where Fnatic has not even shown a huge priority on Nidalee. And even if they did steal away the Nidalee, you still have Set up, who Spica has been very, very good on. Spica has also played Evelynn in a game before and won that game, and you just have other options that Spica has been very, very good on, because Spica has actually played a ton of champions this year, because Graves is actually up as well, which is another option that Spica hasn't been amazing on, but it's been a serviceable pick for TSM. The point is, they had other options. They didn't have to first pick Nidalee, even though I'm sure most people think that is Spica's best champion. You didn't necessarily need to first pick that here. You had a ton of options. You could have first picked the Lucian away from Fnatic, which I think would have been a great option, because that is one of Nemesis's most played and highest KDA champions. He's super, super good at it, high win rate. You know it's going to be a high priority for them. Also, it is a flex pick that you can flex between top and mid, so it's a high priority, high flex pick. That is something that is great for blue side. It's also first pickable. There are some matchups where you can punish it, but you can always put it in the mid lane for Bjergsen. I think Lucian would have been a great pick here, but I think going anywhere else except jungle, unless you're going to take Evelynn. I think Evelynn also would have been a fine first pick, but I don't know if TSM has it prepared. I don't know if Spica's good enough at Evelynn. But I think Nidalee was a horrible first pick and set TSM up for failure in this draft, because now Fnatic goes to the red side, where again they're going to have 3 power picks. The first 2 power picks, they're going to eventually take the Lucian, which was a no-brainer. Nemesis very, very good on Lucian. Even though TSM did keep Nemesis in check in this game, the Lucian didn't end up being able to like punish them too much or anything. Nemesis didn't do terrible. It's not like he inted. It's not like they, Bjergsen did have a nice CS lead, but Nemesis was still able to be serviceable in this game, and obviously on a champion that he is very, very comfortable on. And Lucian does very, very well into Zilean. So by giving up the Lucian pick, TSM also scared themselves away from Zilean, who has been Bjergsen's best champion this split as well. And so the 2 power picks that Fnatic ends up getting is Lucian and Rakan, which is also Biofrost's best support champion. Maybe you think it's Bard. Rakan's for sure in the top 2, a champion that TSM would love to have. Again, they gave them Nemesis's best champion, one of Hylissang's best champions. He's a very, very good Rakan, while also taking away Biofrost champion, and then they're getting the Evelynn as well. That's 3 total power picks, and in return, all they got was the Nidalee. That is a terrible, terrible, terrible draft mistake, in my opinion. But let's see what TSM does in return on the blue side. Hopefully they have at least some counterplay set up for either the Lucian or the Rakan or the Evelynn or something, because we pretty much all know what's coming to round out this part of the draft. Broken Blade is going to take the Camille, champion that he's been very, very good on. He ends up doing fine in this game. However, the Evelynn is able to kind of shut down the Camille split push, because you can't ever push up too far without knowing where the Evelynn is. So Camille, I mean, the whole split pushing style isn't really great into the Evelynn in the first place. Even though they haven't picked Evelynn, you can be pretty sure, you can at least safely assume maybe they don't end up taking it, but that had to be the most likely pick here. They do get the Syndra for Bjergsen, and he does do very well against Lucian in this game. So again, they aren't punished by giving away the Lucian, but maybe, if Nemesis was forced on something else, maybe they could punish a little harder. That's a little bit nitpicky, but I do think they made a big mistake giving up both the Rakan and the Evelynn and not forcing Fnatic to take that Evelynn earlier on in the draft. It's crazy that they get Selfmade's best champion with their 3rd pick on red side. To me, that's crazy, at least, and I think that's part of why this draft went so bad, especially because the Nidalee doesn't end up doing that much in this game. Obviously, that's a little bit revisionist, but I still think you can see the mistake in the draft there. They end up banning Leona, which Biofrost hasn't been a huge Leona player, but it is a very, very good support. TSM on the blue side returns with taking a lot of time with all these picks and bans. I don't want to fast forward too much though, because I don't want to miss anything. So far in the draft, again, a lot of interesting things. A lot of people have gotten their power picks. Broken Blade, very, very good. Camille, Bjergsen, amazing Syndra. Fnatic is really, really happy with all 3 of their picks. And Spica, claims to be one of the best Nidalee players in North America, hopefully in the world as he begins to mature and stuff. They end up banning Twitch, who's very, very good in this meta. Twitch is also very good with Rakan because you can go invisible and get those engages, but they already have that invisible engage with Evelynn. But yeah, so since TSM knew the Evelynn was coming, hopefully they have some kind of strategy prepared for that. Again, I don't love the Camille answer. Camille can lock in Evelynn, which can be pretty good, but it is hard to split push against Evelynn. Fnatic with the Lulu ban, which is a little bit weird because I don't really think haven't really seen much of Lulu in this meta or anything. But obviously they just wanted to ban away some Enchanter supports. And then finally TSM with their final ban on blue side, as time is ticking down, is going to be in just 1 second. They ban away the Ornn, which is a very, very good ban because, again, this Lucian is most likely going mid lane. Bwipo very, very good at Ornn. Orange is a very, very good champion in most metas. He's been super, super good for so long. At this point, this is screaming out to me that I'm wondering if Fnatic is going to take away Senna because Doublelift has been really, really good at Senna. It fits TSM's playstyle so well. And if I'm TSM, I'm really happy to get Senna plus whatever support we're about to get in this spot. So I think Fnatic's kind of in an interesting position where they need to decide between taking away Senna or going for maybe a top laner here, whatever they want to do. They have some options, but I would be a little bit worried about giving over Senna to Doublelift. They end up going with the Volibear, who is a plus matchup into Camille, so they have a favorable top lane matchup, which should be really, really nice for them. They also got to pick their jungle matchup, so they have at least 2 favorable matchups there. This shouldn't be too bad of a draft. They also got a comfort picks for Hylissang and Nemesis. Even if Bjergsen did get the counter pick in the mid lane, Nemesis should at least be comfortable enough on the Lucian, hopefully, to be serviceable. In return, we definitely know we're getting the Doublelift Senna here. That pick, I think, was pretty obvious. I was very curious to see where TSM was going to go with support. They end up going Alistar, which I really don't love. Biofrost hasn't been as good at like these engaged tank supports. It does suck, again, that they didn't get the Rakan over to them here. Bard is still available. I don't know what exactly was the problem with Bard here in this draft. I think it would have been a little bit interesting. I don't love the matchup that they end up getting, but bot lane actually goes well, so I don't really have too much problem with the second half of the draft here for TSM. Getting Senna, Alistar, they're just going to be passive in lane. They're going to hopefully help out their team, but the rest of the map is going to have to go well. And then finally, with the last pick of the draft, it is going to be the AD carry for Rekkles, where Fnatic is going to go. They're going to hover the Orianna for a little bit. They're not going Sivir. Fnatic is going to go with the Jhin, who he's coming back in a meta. He's actually a decent pick right now. He's pretty good. Bot lane doesn't go well for them, but again, I think the biggest point in this game as we begin to look at the drafts is that Fnatic just got so many good picks. Fnatic got pretty much everything they wanted. They have Hylissang on an engage support who he's able to play safe with, where even if he does some of those crazy inting engages, he can kind of hop right back out. Rekkles got the AD carry one, and then you get the best pick for Nemesis, the best pick for Selfmade, and then a favorable matchup for Bwipo in the top lane where he can carry. If you're looking at TSM, you got a lot of good stuff as well. You have Speak on what you think is his best champion, Bjergsen on one of his main picks, and he got counter pick, Doublelift on Senna. I'm not crazy about Broken Blade ending up in a losing matchup or Biofrost ending up on Alistar, but I just feel like Fnatic's draft is way, way more powerful, and I feel like TSM could have made Fnatic's draft way weaker while still getting a similar level draft for themselves by not first picking the Nidalee and forcing Fnatic into more bad situations. Obviously, we saw how the game went. Fnatic was able to win the game very, very easily. Selfmade carried very, very hard on the Evelynn, which is, I think, something a lot of people expected, and I think it could have been a whole different game had we forced them onto another champion. But these two teams will play again. They will be flipped on the other side, so the drafts will be completely different, but NA will hopefully get some revenge, but they will at least have a chance at the worst. But yeah, pretty much it for this video today, guys. Definitely drop a like if you enjoyed. Leave a comment down below. What do you think about these drafts? Do you think TSM had a good draft? Do you think Fnatic had a good draft? Whatever. Who do you think TSM could have first picked? I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts and opinions. Subscribe to the latest content. Hopefully I catch you guys in the next one. Hopefully you're enjoying Worlds. But until next time, peace.